COVID-19 lockdown, I learned how to design some things, flyers. So when I want to do programs, you see me designing it myself. It's just that you need to sit down, have all the time, know how to put colors, but I can do it. And immediately I finished learning and I see that I have started practicing it. I said engaging people online. They were paying money for my data to teach them too. So, and I tell those young boys and girls that used to say, Mama, send us urgent to guys. If me that you call your mother can learn some of these skills and I'm making money from it, what stops you? So that way you see the person looking up to you and say, oh, if this woman with all her level and everything, she's still learning these skills, or she's into these skills, she's practicing these skills, I will come close. So when they come, you teach them and they become better. So the place of mentorship cannot be overemphasized. It's very, very necessary because there's experience, there's a room for guidance, there's room for everything good that will come out of it.
All right, the place of mentorship is very, very necessary.
Very vital, yes.
In our skill acquisition. That's very interesting. But Chike, since the place of mentorship is very necessary in skill acquisition, what is the place of the youth in the local communities who may not have access to skill acquisition that we're talking about, not to talk of the mentorship that's attached to it, to get it groomed? What's their place and what do you have for them? Okay,
fine. If you are in a locality where you can't find a mentor, and let's use it, a locality where there will be no mentor, definitely there will be no internet access, something like that. Now, if you don't have any of those two, and you have interest in something, I think the very first step is to ask where I can get this thing. Because I'll use myself as an example. In my own trade, in my own business, some persons have come all the way from villages and say, okay, I want to come and learn this thing. So because I want to come and learn, I am moving to Enugu. I will find a place to live and this and that. Now, most persons moved over and they learned the trade. Some of them didn't go back to the village. Because in the process of learning, you establish yourself somewhere. And after learning, you already have something to sustain yourself with, and you stay. So where you are, somebody said, don't let your background keep your back on the ground. So wherever you are, as long as you have the interest, you have the determination, you will definitely move to get what you want. And by the time you move out to where it is, you will find it. Now, if you want to learn it on a bigger scale, but then there is somebody around that village or around that locality that is doing it on a smaller scale, meet that person, learn that smaller scale first. When you learn it, probably begin your own. You can now continue to go for more courses, more lectures, more sessions, and you will get better. So it's better you start from that small that you have found and then move to the higher one.
All right. Thank you so much.
Mr. Masi, if you don't mind, I just wanted to add that, these rural dwellers, the communities, they are very important to us too. We can't just continue to have them only here, have skills acquisition only here. So there's something we started doing in our organization, for instance, because we have a lot of NGOs who also want to go to those communities to teach them free of charge. So I told you that we go to communities, like in our NAF, under the Nanaze Foundation, we got a partnership with Jobaman, and they say reach out to those villagers, go to them, you understand, go to them. So we took the skills to them. We will go to villages. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you are, in fact, we've been to, like now, we are covering all the Enugu West Senatorial Zone. Whether it is inside your village, we will come there. In fact, there was one village we went to, our car almost spoiled. But we were so satisfied that we went to that village. And we gave them this skill free of charge. Some of them, because they don't even value, some of them don't value what you give them. Do you know, we go as far as even feeding them, refreshing them, just to get them acquire entrepreneurship skills, get them acquire soft skills, and teach them some vocational skills free of charge. So with the engagement of civil society organizations, NGOs, they can be reached. You don't need to come up to the town. And there's even something we did recently. We had a provision where we had free accommodation, free feeding for the number of months or weeks that you will learn certain skills. We had people who were training in plumbing, people who were training in barbing, and which other one. So we brought them from, some people applied because we advertised it. People from the, from the town, those who are living within the urban areas, they applied. We rejected them. We wanted those who are, just because of what he said, we brought them from the rural areas so that they can live here, see some things that we are seeing here. So as I speak with you, they are with us in our learning environment, learning how to make hair, learning how to barb hair, learning laundry, free of charge, with free accommodation, free feeding. These are the things we are doing just to encourage rural, rural skills to acquire skills, so that you won't say it's because I'm not in the township, that's why I don't have skills. No.
All right, thank you so much. We can see you are doing a whole lot of work to make sure that skills are acquired.
Yes.
Then, Philip, how do parents come in to encourage these young people to acquire skills? Because I think parents are viable machines that could be of very good help.
Sure, that's true.
How do they come in?
Yes, that's a very, very important point. Parents have a role to play. Good thing we have passed that era where parents give birth to a child and say you must be an engineer, you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer. Good thing we've passed that stage. We now have wiser parents that even if your son is doing medicine, we now have parents that will say, in that your medicine, go and learn how to barb. In that your engineering, go and learn how to make shoes. So parents actually can push their children into going into a skill. My own mother did, and every one of us, we benefited. Now there's one thing is, when parents are maybe pushing the children, it's usually not palatable, it's usually not sweet. But then once the child begins, you will find out that there is a stage the child will get to. He's now on his own accord. He can just continue to even gain more and more, and in the long run he will still attribute it to the parents.
Yes.
But now, if you push your child to just be a doctor, or to be a lawyer, or to be a banker, and that is all that the child has, what if he's retrenched from the place of work? Then he comes straight back home to stay with you at home. It has happened to most of our parents, and then they now know that, okay, this is no longer in vogue. So please, if any parent is listening to me and you have a child that is just staying, maybe going to school and coming back, it's high time you push the child, go and learn this, go and learn that. There's nothing wrong in coming back from school, going to one shop or going to one place and learn what they do there. And when you learn it, in fact, some of them, as by working as a sales girl or a sales boy or whatever, they can learn those skills and come. So please, push your child out. It's not good to just keep them at home, go to lesson and all those things. It's no longer enough. So parents should do better.
All right, thank you so much. Conclusively, Barrister Nenda, what encouragement do you have for young people who already have a skill?
Okay, those who already have a skill, please, don't be tired. Don't be discouraged. Keep on pursuing your dreams. Keep on with the skills you have. Acquire more if necessary. Mentor others. Let people see what you're doing. Leverage on the social media to sell yourself, because you can be doing something and nobody knows about it, and it can be very frustrating when you are busy producing beautiful things and nobody knows about it. So go online and also learn to teach people, because when you're teaching, you are learning. You get that? So teach people, learn, and like he said, parents should not make some of these skills look so menial and so dirty. Nothing stops your child from learning plumbing work. You can learn how to learn plumbing work. You can learn barbing, like he said, and so many skills. Digital skills are there that you can use, So I think just keep on learning and keep on teaching, keep on impacting, because skills acquisition is the in thing now. Is no longer gone at the era of certificates. What we now have is certificates. What do you know how to do? Are you doing it? Certificate.
From certificate to certificate.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Philip, on a parting note, talk to those youths who have zero interest in acquiring any skill.
Okay, talking to people that have zero interest in acquiring any skill, I would simply say you are jeopardizing your future. The present may be looking palatable, probably because you have a comfortable 9 to 5 that you are doing. You can feed yourself, buy a house and all those things. But then, look into the future. Definitely one day you'll be retrenched or you retire. And then you come back to nothing. And that's when you start seeing older men pushing wheelbarrow. or you see older women hawking biscuits or whatever, it's not because they chose that path, but because there was nothing they set before. Because if somebody is retrenched, I would just use this one as a party note. My own mother was retrenched from the bank, and she didn't fall back to nothing. She knows how to bake. She began to bake both meat pie, whatever, cake, flour, and that one grew to replace the job. So if you don't have a skill today and you are happy doing your 9 to 5, definitely something would happen. We are not praying for something bad, but we just know either by retrenchment or by retirement, you will leave the job and then you fall back to nothing. So please get yourself something doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Nena Anozie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
you.
Philip Chikezie Osibwe. Thank you so much. Avia will thank you also for being there. We have had a wonderful chat. The take home is, if you're a youth, go and acquire a skill today. It is on Aneke TV. My name is Chukwemeka Obasi. Thank you so much. We shall see you again. Then watch out for skills acquisition on Aneke TV part 2. It shall definitely come your way. Thank you so much.
Sex is sacred, not shameful. In its truest form, it is more than the body. It is soul speaking to soul, fire woven with trust, vulnerability clothed in consent. But when misused, it breaks more than bodies, it fractures spirits. That is why it must be approached with reverence, not recklessness. Let us teach to love before lust, connection before conquest. For when sex is honored, it becomes not just pleasure, but poetry.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, 042. Welcome and thanks for joining us today. You're tuned into Sunrise on Aneke TV, your go-to guide for a bright and informed morning. I am Deborah Nwaka Oba, coming to you live from our studio here in vibrant Enugu.
And I'm Uche Osai, wherever you are, at home, in your office, or in traffic. Thank you for letting us into your home this beautiful morning. As always, we're here to refresh, inform, and motivate.
Yes, and today is Friday, August 22, 2025. And of course, like always, we are here with your full lineup of news, weather, trending stories, and that special sunrise vibe to help you begin the day.
So, relax, sip your tea or coffee. Enjoy the ride, because sunrise is here.
And firstly, we would start off with our quote of the day, with words that are always refreshing, educative, encouraging, and worth drawing insight from to ensure that we are always focused, well-driven, and open to growth.
And right after that, we would give you today's headlines, newspaper headlines, and all the key updates you need to remain informed will be served hot and tasty.
We've also got the weather report for today covering cities across the southeast, which will help you get well prepared.
And later we'll take you through today's weather across the major cities in the southeast.
Yes, and we'll also take you through today's celebration, which will uplift your spirits. And to our quote of the day, it is coming from a lady by name Jessica Hatchigan. In her quote, she says, "There's an important difference between giving up and letting go. And by giving up often comes from frustration, hopelessness, or fear. It's when we stop trying because we feel like all hope is lost, or we feel like there is nothing else to do. That's when we give up. And while letting go on the other hand, is an act of wisdom and strength. And letting go, it means recognizing that something is no longer healthy or helpful to you, and then, or it is not meant for you. Instead of forcing it, you choose peace over struggle. And in a nutshell, giving up is surrendering to despair, and while letting go is surrendering to growth. And as usual, please always remember that each new sunrise is an opportunity or a platform meant for us to grow, try something new or something different, or simply be more present. And please let us know what this quote means to you. You can drop your thoughts on Facebook, X, Instagram, or right here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. We'll be going on a short break, and when we are back, we'll be taking the weather update. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to Aneke TV, the heartbeat of culture, truth, and innovation. From breaking news to inspiring documentaries, from grassroots traditions, mysteries of life to global perspectives, we'll tell your stories. We amplify your voice and your vision. With every screen we light up, we connect, inform, and empower. It's more than a television. This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Aneke TV on Sunrise on Aneke TV. Stay tuned as we'll take you through the weather across major cities in Southeast today.
Yes, and we'll be starting off in Oka. Do not forget your umbrella this morning. A few showers are lined up early on, but as the day moves on, the clouds will mostly hang around with the sun peeking through here and there. Temperatures will climb up to a comfy 27 degrees Celsius before cooling down nicely.
And in Enugu is a cloudy affair from morning till night. You might not see too much sunshine today, but at least the skies are keeping it consistent. Expect highs of about 29 degrees Celsius, warm but not scorching.
And moving over to Abakaliki, things get a little dramatic this morning with thunderstorms rolling in early. But do not worry, by midday the storms will ease and you get mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will rise to around 30 degrees Celsius, so keep cool and stay hydrated.
Meanwhile, in Owerri, is a laid-back kind of day with clouds differing around a little gray but nothing too wide. Temperatures will stretch up to a warm 30 degrees Celsius, so you can still enjoy your afternoon plans without too many weather surprises.
And finally, we have the Umahia. Umahia is giving us a mixed bag clouds in the morning, but by afternoon the sun will be cheeky enough to peep through. Highs will reach about 30 degrees Celsius, making it a bright finish to the day.
So, wherever you are in the southeast today, dress light, keep an umbrella close. Rain or shine, we've got you covered. That's your weather report today on Sunrise.
And we'll be right back with more updates.
Welcome to Aneke TV, the heartbeat of culture, truth, and innovation. From breaking news to inspiring documentaries, from grassroots traditions, mysteries of life to global perspectives, we'll tell your stories. We amplify your voice and your vision. With every screen we light up, we connect, inform, and empower. It's more than a television. This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Let's see what's making front page news today in The Nation, Punch, Vanguard, and Guardian newspaper. And today's show, we have again our in-house analyst, Mrs. Chiwendu Ifeoluwankwo. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Chiwendu Ifeoluwankwo,
Morning.
welcome on board.
Good morning, Mr. Osai.
It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Now on The Nation headlines, PDP convention threatened by leaders battle over zoning. Now over to the Punch headlines, CDS 2027 polls behind surge in killings. Now moving over to the Vanguard headlines, climate change, how floods worsens Nigerians' healthcare woes. Then lastly, we have the Guardian headlines, Alafin versus Oni old war path for new entrants. Now, The Nation headlines, PDP convention threatened by leaders battle over zoning, and this points to deep division within the PDP as party leaders clash over the sensitive issue of zoning. And I would like to know if the outcome of this battle could shape and strengthen the direction of party ahead. Mrs. Chiwendu.
Thank you very much, Ms. Deborah. For me, it's a welcome development, and it has always been the case even before now. But it seems as if the rule, the gentleman's agreement, for me, wasn't adhered to during the last election.
Okay.
They didn't pay heed to South-North agreement or zoning, if you should put it that way. If not, I wouldn't know the reason why the likes of Aneke would have come on board to even buy the ticket if they knew that the zoning should have been for the South. They would have left the candidature or the aspirants to squarely come from the South. But they didn't pay heed to that, and I knew that was actually one of the things that led to the crack on the wall within their house. So if this time they decided to pay good attention to those issues that led to the crack, especially the issue of zoning, that would be a plus to them. But when you look at the issue on ground already, people or person like Aneke is of the view that it won't hold. I wouldn't know why he was saying that or what could be his problem. Just like Mr. Sai pointed out yesterday, the whole thing is looking as if the whole dance tune is looking as if he that pays the piper is the one dictating the tune, and that's why they have failed to cow him. If not, I wouldn't know, or I don't know. I don't want to believe that a whole party cannot be able to tame one individual from their midst. So for me, it's a welcome development if they will be able to execute what they have reached, the agreement they have reached at.
Okay.
So PDP convention threatened by leaders battling over zoning. PDP yesterday, today, and the same. It's been battle. Are they really being serious right now as a political party? As an opposition political party? You know, I'm beginning to think that those who are of the view that PDP doesn't know how to be in the opposition, they after all may be right. Just few years in opposition, and the whole thing, the beautiful bride PDP, seems to be not only has he been going for divorce, but the divorce is becoming messier by the day.
Going into extinction.
We're talking about zoning, and I'm forced to ask, is PDP still talking about zoning? I thought with the last general election, zoning was killed in the PDP.
Maybe they want to resurrect it again.
Okay.
Or they have their reasons.
They have seen that it is actually one of the reasons why the crack came on board.
Or why they're having the issues.
And they did not adhere to that.
If that's the case, then there'll be more cracks.
Why do you think
Because as far as I'm concerned, the egos at play here, I don't think have been settled. Do you understand? So there'll be more cracks. Who is going to shift ground? Let's believe that the almighty Aneke group are not part of the zoning issues coming up again. Because if you recall, this was fundamental to the issues of 2023. And they're still rearing their head. Without beating much about this issue, it still remains to be seen if they are really serious. Because going this way, I have every doubt that PDP may not be part of the election come 2027. Because I don't know how they will put their house in order. I know that the Aneke faction was meeting where they will take a position, but the big man himself has maintained that he's not aware of any convention coming up. And I think these are the issues that needs to be sorted out for the November convention to hold.
I think they're already working on it because according to Mr. Makinde, he was saying that when asked, are you people really going to be on the ballot come 2027? So he was of the view that he should first of all have a house before you start talking about people that will inhabit it. So the issue of being on the ballot for now shouldn't be a point to be discussed. Let's first of all have a party through which we can be able to file in any candidate for that 2027, so that we are trying to work.
They are trying to harmonize, come together,
the party, and at least have one voice before moving forward.
Granted, our call will be that PDP should do the needful, do whatever they have to do to give us a viable opposition party.
Lively one.
Yes, that is capable of putting the ruling APC on their toes.
Exactly.
Even if they don't win the 2027 election,
at least.
But we should have a viable opposition political party. And PDP, much has been given to them. Because this nation, these citizens, have placed their trust in them for years. How many successive governments from the PDP? We've had about 3 successive governments from the PDP. And now, the little they could do to repair this trust is to give us a viable opposition.
It seems as if it's actually the ADC that's even coming to do what is expecting.
I've not seen anything from the APC apart from the ADC rather, apart from the consistency of their press releases. I've not really seen anything yet. We're still watching, we're observing. But as far as we are concerned, or as far as I'm concerned, I am worried that these various interests that need to align for PDP to hold their convention and then move forward from there, I doubt if they will be able to come in and have an agreement, because this is about each and his own interest. Yes, we've read about the Makinde, who was part of the Ashebi group. Perhaps he's about building his own faction. And a whole lot of interest. If we begin to balkanize it, you'll see that there are divers and areas of interest. But in all, we'll call on PDP to put their house in order. If they are to rebuild, let them agree on the plan and then move on. Yes, we shouldn't, at this point in time, we are getting bored with their internal wranglings. We want to see a viable PDP. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much on that. And moving over to the Punch headlines, it reads CDS 2027 polls behind surge in killings. And it says here the defense chief is raising alarm that political interests tied to the 2027 election may be fueling the wave of killings. Like, do you think the 2020, according to them, they said the 2027 election might be the reason for these killings and everything?
According to the CDS, he was saying that, retrospect, last year, the rate of killings wasn't as high as what is obtainable now, and we are still in 2025, but the whole drumbeat is welcoming 2027 as if is a month away from here. So that in as much as terrorist activities are there, but then he is seeing beyond that, that most of these killings are politically motivated, and that most of these political juggernauts are using all these bandits and terrorists to achieve their political aims, and that's why you have seen so much of the killings every now and then. North Central mostly, so you began to wonder why, if you finish killing all these people and get into office, who are you going to lead then? So if they are able to come up with answers to this, then they will be able to understand, and they understand the fact that you are actually coming to serve, and who you serve if the people are no longer there. If the people are no longer there, the more reason our political leaders should know that though politics is a game of who gets what, but it shouldn't be at the expense of anybody's blood. No citizens, let me just quote the former president, Goodluck, so that his political ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. So if they can always understand this, and have it at the back of their hearts or mind every point in time they are embarking on their political rampage, they will understand the value for lives, and they will know that they don't need to push down one for them to rise. So that's my take on that.
Okay. All right. First of all, we'll have to we'll commend the CDS, General Chris Musa, at least for their efforts, for the results we've seen, the sacrifice they've made, and the arrests that were made recently. At least we've seen that the head of the known kingpins of these terrorist organizations were arrested within the week ended. So we commend them for all their efforts. However, the general is telling us that some politicians are fueling these killings in order to do what exactly? To discredit the security efforts of the government. Then they will use chaos to campaign. Coming from the Chief of Defense Staff, I assume he has intelligence. For him to have made this statement, it comes from intelligence. So why are we not seeing arrests? Yes, because if any politician is fueling the killing of citizens, that is terrorism. Exactly. That is crime. So why are we not seeing arrests? Why are we not hearing names?
Prosecutions.
It should go beyond rhetorics. Let us have names. Let us know these people. Even if you are not able to prosecute them, then how will the citizens vote how will I vote my killer? So make it public. Go public with it. Let's see prosecution.
It's not enough.
He has to show us that this is not just political motivated statements. Let's all see something on ground. Let's see that somebody is being prosecuted. He should be gone. If he has his files together, by now we should have seen arrests.
Of course, he has his power for him to come.
I said he has intelligence. I believe he has intelligence on this.
I know he has his
so we want to see people being prosecuted. Let them be prosecuted. If a politician is going against the state, then the state should be at liberty. It's the responsibility of the state to protect the lives and property of the citizens. So they should be arrested, they should be prosecuted. That's what we expect, and not rhetorics. Yes, in as much as we commend them for their efforts, for everything they've done to secure our nation, but they see us the responsibility of prosecuting these people if they know them.
Trying to put the in bad lights.
Then talking about the increase in terrorism this period as a result of the 2027 election, which is still far ahead. I don't know the data from which he arrived at this conclusion.
I want to give you the same intelligence.
So, but in intelligence, if it's through intelligence gathering, that means they know what is the cause.
And who is the cause.
And then perhaps those responsible, like I said, he should go after them. They should go after them. Then, on terrorism generally, we know, and he has pointed out about the chaos that we're witnessing, or lack of peace in the Sahel region. There's a proliferation of arms. Mali, borders, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and all that. If they have identified this, then what are the solutions? We've pointed the crisis. In his speech, he was talking about that these terrorism organizations, these terrorist cells are being funded beyond locally. They are equally funded foreign. Then, what is Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit doing? What is DSS doing? What is the responsibility of NIA? We've heard this same statement during the previous administration, that they are being funded by foreigners. And then we have our intelligence outfits being funded through the citizens' wealth, through the common patrimony of the country, the wealth of the nation. They are paid salaries, they are funded, they have budget. Why are we not seeing results? So the DSS, the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, we've seen that they've been able to make some international arrests. Therefore, it shouldn't be rocket science that they will go after these people. And let us see these names of people, the organizations, the country. Then, talking about prosecution, they should be brought forward for prosecution. Granted that it may be difficult due to logistics or legal equivalence to get these foreigners, but what about the local ones? What about the local ones? When you have conversation with them, they will say that even when these terrorists are arrested, then that is difficult. There is always there are legal hurdles to prosecuting them. Like I said, we've heard these statements over and over again. What are we doing? Let's look at the issue of border. What are we doing to secure the border? We've talked about the proliferation of arms from the Sahels. What are we doing to secure the border? To see that these arms doesn't get into the country. Yes. Luckily enough, I'm happy that the immigrations and customs, they are recruiting to increase their manpower. But it should go beyond that. What is the technology in place to monitor the borders?
You know, you made mention of that we don't have it. And that is why they're happy the president has signed into the bill to be able to bring in expatriates that will help in manufacturing it here in Nigeria so that will cut costs.
You're talking about defense industrial bill?
Yes.
Where we have to manufacture locally, you know, the cost of buying from outside due to the rate of is expensive, then we have to manufacture. Okay, we should go beyond signing the bill. But before the indigenous companies begin to manufacture, we wouldn't wait for things to get too bad.
Yeah.
We'll have a security budget, which I suppose that these things are factored into. We should not rely just on manpower. Get technology involved. Secure the border. That way, I believe, if you eliminate the arms coming in from the Sahel, then it will be easier for you to begin to combat terrorism effectively, because they won't get a supply of ammunition. And then, because at this point, Nigeria, we are yet to appoint our ambassadors. We should have ambassadors in place. There should be firm agreements with these neighboring countries. Fighting terrorism should be a joint effort. Not when you don't have good rapport with your neighbors, you expect them to
be friendly
and then close their border to not let these people pass through their territory into yours. So it calls for a whole lot of a new approach to this. Then, talking about legal hurdles that they face, I think at this point in time we should have a special court to handle terrorism cases, because I heard the chief of defense staff complain that there is always issue prosecuting these terrorists when they are arrested. We should march forward. Lucky enough, we've seen a synergy between the legislature and the executive. So it won't be difficult to engineer a legislature that will see to it that will have a special court to handle terrorism cases, so that these issues are handled timely.
Mr. Sai, at this point, let me chip in this. In his speech, he said that these terrorists are sponsored, and it's not just internal sponsorship, they also get foreign sponsorship. Now, let's talk about internal sponsorship. And you think that establishing an independent court or special court that will be taking the issue of that will be handling the issue of terrorism,
yes,
so that it will they will also hasten the process, so that the criminals will be brought to book and justice meted to them at the right time. Why do you think that such moves will succeed when the powers that be that sponsors them are there? They won't take it. They won't allow such bills to fly. It will not fly. They will not execute it. We keep seeing it.
No, at this point in time,
it will end in reprint.
No, at this point in time, At this point in time, you understand, I suppose that the chief of defense staff is speaking in good faith and pointing out the challenges to combating terrorism. Now, we don't know these people. He said foreign and local. So, we don't know.
I know it's not me.
No,
it's not you.
Names have not been mentioned.
It has to be the big wigs.
Names have not been mentioned. Names have not been mentioned yet. Names have not been mentioned yet. And we assume that the government is alive to its responsibilities, which is why I call for a legislation to see that these special courts are set up.
And
part of the cases that's being raised against Nigeria is the duration of trials. People are kept in custody without trial. Do you understand? And the humanitarian organization keep holding us responsible for calling us for inhuman treatment. Do you understand? So these special courts will see to it that there is speedy trial. Our courts are congested. When you take cases to court, it takes longer period to hear cases. You understand? But when we have special courts like this that will handle the issue of terrorism charges, it will be dispensed with as quick as possible. It's no longer where you see the issue of maybe jailbreaks and you hear that a terrorist escaped back. You get. So these issues will be dispensed with speedily.
How wish our country has come to this level of understanding and development. Then you see, this is a very good
I don't want to believe that.
Means
I don't want
and
to.
the solution to all these arrays of issues. But I am telling you, I don't know why I'm optimistic about that. I don't want to be. I don't want to sound pessimistic. But I'm telling you, you see that bill. If you call it bill, however, legislation, anyone you want to call it, it won't fly.
Why won't it fly?
Of course, it's very obvious. When you pay attention to the tone of the CDS, you understand that he's kind of helpless and that if only this will be done, then this will be put in check.
Okay.
So, and I want to believe that this is not the very first time such suggestions has been slated, but nothing has been done. So, and you will keep talking.
And we keep hearing insecurities.
Yes. So it will only end in the print, and that's what's so unfortunate with us here. Do you understand that? That's little they will tell you Nigeria happened to this and Nigeria happened, and that is part of what we are talking about. Are you getting